The Dom Life Podcast presents Real Talk.
A BDSM Back to Basics mini-series intended for listeners 18 and older.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome back.
It's dark outside. That means we are doing real talk.
Yes, it does. We are going to continue from our last episode of being a good submissive.
I am so not a good submissive.
Yeah, you are. We're going to throw just a little bit of a twist in with this episode of not only being a good submissive, but submitting when it's hard.
Yeah, that is definitely a part of being a submissive.
Yeah, I know that there is sometimes I can see it in your face. I can hear it in your voice. There has been a few times that you did not want to do what I was asking you to do.
Yeah, and so you would ask, why? Why do I submit? I'm a strong, independent, knowledgeable, educated woman. Why would I submit?
Yeah, why would you submit?
Because it is part of my nature, and the rewards to me far outweigh any inconvenience.
Okay.
And we've built the relationship in such a way that it's right for me and it works for me. So
Gotcha.
I give up that control because I need it. Now, we've talked about it before, sexually.
Yes.
That is an absolute must-have. But my submissive also requires control in other areas.
Right.
And I enjoy it. That's like us going to the restaurant and you doing all the ordering.
Right.
It's just those kind of things make me feel feminine and taken care of and loved. And those are part of the reason that I do submit, even when I don't want to.
Yeah. So let's talk about maybe some scenarios of task or stuff that I've asked you to do that maybe it was the wrong time to ask. Maybe you just wasn't in the right.
Nick, you have the best timing always.
Yeah, I know I do.
Because
usually
it's
the
your
wrong
time.
timing. So let's think back a little bit. So, we're laid out in our recliners, laying on our heating pads.
Just chilling out.
Just chilling. Everything's quiet. You're watching your Facebook Reels. I'm on TikTok. We're settling our minds.
Yes, after a long week of work.
Yep. And I get it'd be nice to have a drink right now. And I kind of turn over to look at you, see what you're doing. You soon realize I'm looking at you,
and I look over.
You turn your head and look at me. I need you to make me a drink.
Oh, so that's not that hard to do, but I'm sure in my head at that moment, while I'm sitting on my heating pad, I'm thinking to myself, oh, he needs a drink. Right? I'm sure of it.
Right.
Because I'm just have that kind of immediate response. Oh, he needs a drink. Oh,
Yep.
He's the big man. I'm going to go make him a drink like I didn't make dinner or whatever.
Right.
But the thing is, you just look at me and you give me your Dom look. And during that Dom look, you let me know that you're serious. You're not just...
Right.
We're not just living life. You're actually serious about this request.
Yep.
At which point I get my happy ass up and I go make you a drink.
Make me a drink.
And I bring it back to you and I say, here you go, sir.
Yep.
And the reason I do that is because the next words out of your mouth will be, good girl.
Good girl. Thank you. Yes.
And it'll make me feel good that I did this for you.
Right. And all of that goes back into my back of my head. We've talked about how I remember when a punishment is due, that I will take these small little pieces of stuff where you've messed up or you've talked about masturbating without
That
permission.
was so
And
long
I know,
ago.
but I store all that in the back of my mind and I make you think I forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd also do the same for the rewards. I take all those little pieces. She got me a drink, store that in the reward section.
Right.
And then one day when you think I've done all this stuff for him and what have I gotten out of it? And then I try to pull out a reward and
Yeah.
reward you for all of it.
Yes. So what is another something that you have me do, Master Nick?
Well, there's sometimes I'm feeling a little frisky.
No, not you.
Sometimes, pretty much all the time. If I'm not tired. But I may want you to show your body off a little bit. I may want you to, hey, go put something sexy on. I want to see you walk around the house in something sexy.
And I will say that I have a lot of something sexies in my closet, but
You
most
do.
of the time when we're around here casual, I'm in some comfy clothes.
You are in very comfy clothes.
So I probably would stop my way into the closet, stomp, 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 stomp. Oh, he wants me in something sexy. It's cold or I'm tired. Right?
Or
My brain is
maybe I eat too much and I'm just not
Ooh,
feeling
that's
it,
that's
or I
one of
feel
the big
bloated,
things
or any of
all
that.
the time.
So all of that could tie into that
But
too.
one of the things I feel that women do on a regular basis is we are unhappy with our
Yes.
bodies. And it's not just me, it's not just it's across the board.
Yes, I
I'm
agree.
feeling chunky, my outfits aren't fitting me right. It's just at the end of Christmas and whatever, and now it's been a month of just sitting because of illness. And I think we have a tendency to forget that you're seeing me every single day.
Yes.
If I put something sexy on, you still love me,
Oh,
whether
hell yeah.
I'm a little bit fluffy
If you've
or
got a little bit of that holiday food still lingering around, I don't care.
no. But if you ask me to put on something sexy and I put it on,
Yep.
you're attracted to that.
Oh, yeah.
I may not look in the mirror and go, I look good. I look terrible is what I'm thinking. But you,
In my eyes, yeah, there is absolutely nothing wrong. How many times have I kind of turned the corner and caught you changing shirts and just
Stop.
immediately just stop dead
staring at the breast
and just look at you. And once you put your shirt on, I'm like, oh. Yeah, that's right. I was going to go do this.
You
But,
do
yeah.
that, and that makes me feel good.
Yep. But
Good
there
thing
is-
my breasts stay big.
But there is those times, and I know you said a lot of women feel that. And there's a lot of men that feel the same way too. There's something they're not happy with, or about their body, or they've, like you said, the holidays, you've packed on a little extra weight.
Then January
Maybe-
with the deep freeze, we
Yep.
did nothing.
Maybe you're just feeling bloated. Maybe you're just not feeling your best. And putting something sexy on for your dominant can be hard. It can be tough. But always remember that so we're going, in my shoes, if I didn't find you attractive, then first of all, we probably wouldn't even be in a relationship. Attractiveness has to be there.
Right.
A relationship isn't built on looks, but there has to be that attractiveness. And
Yes.
and a lot of it is physical. So if I didn't find you attractive to begin with, we wouldn't be in a relationship. And secondly, if I wasn't happy with your body, why would I be wanting you to show it off for me? So
Right.
anytime your partner says, hey, go put something sexy on for me, you can feel bad about your body. You can dislike parts about your body, but you also have to remember that there's somebody asking you to see your body. They want to see it for a reason. And the reason being is it gets them turned on and hot and heavy. And
then there's the reward.
then normally you don't even wear it very long. I mean, normally just walking in, me looking at it and going, okay, yeah, let's go. It's coming off. So you're not even in it very long at all to begin with. But again, it's,
Yeah.
you have to do those kind of things. And I know there's been times that you haven't felt the best. You may not be sick, but you
If
may
I'm
have.
sick, you don't even,
Oh, yeah, I don't. I know when you're sick.
You're not trying to push me when I'm either very into my feelings or very, those
Right.
aren't the times that you're requesting this. This is just in the general
Right. Exactly.
live our lifetime
Yep.
that you're the dominant and I have to do it. And I'm 100% sure, sir, that you have seen my teeth grind.
Maybe once or
Like
twice.
the whole teeth clenching thing is,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Not always,
Not always, but I have seen it.
but then I do it, and so that's
You do.
got to, yeah.
You do. I mean, you have always done. You have never yet refused or denied, or I've noticed there's been times you weren't happy about it, but you still got it done. You still done what was asked of you.
Done.
And all of that gets locked away in the little rewards box in my head.
I'm ready for you to pop out that report. No, I'm just kidding, sir. So then we also,
Let's go a little bit further. So, I mean,
yes,
these would be your common task that could be given any time of day. While putting this podcast episode together, we was coming up with tasks, and there's send me a picture while I'm away and all this. But let's go to a hard example. Let's say we're in a disagreement.
never happens.
You
Sorry.
being a damn comedian. All the starving comedians out there, and you trying to be one. But we're in a disagreement, and we both think we're right.
Yes, that happens.
And me as a dominant, seeing the path that we are going down, and realize we both need to take a time out and we need to take a break. So during this disagreement, I say, you know what? I need you to kneel and face this wall and collect your thoughts. I'm going to go to another room to collect my thoughts. But I have asked you to kneel while doing this.
Man, this is one of those situations. I think that that's a hard
That
one.
would be a very hard one to submit.
Especially since we have been in a couple of arguments throughout our relationship.
Yes.
That this would be warranted. Like doing
Right.
this would make sense. It probably would have de-escalated the situation.
Exactly. But in that moment,
You're not man, I'm an independent. I have a lot of words, and I want to say them at you, and so this would be a difficult thing. I think it may take more than a look. I think it may take some physical action on your part of walking me over and maybe pushing my shoulders down and saying, this isn't a punishment. I think it would take a little, it's not an instant.
No, you would not, definitely 100% would not go, yes, sir, and get on your knees and thank. There's no way in hell you would ever do that.
But
so I can see that.
think with a little bit of prompting,
right,
it would be a good thing, because a lot of times I'm the one that steps away anyways.
Right.
Like I want, because I get myself worked up where I'm more worked up than you, because you tend to stay pretty steady.
depending on the topic.
Not
yes.
that you physically look steady. While my voice is getting louder, you keep your voice even. You don't react. Even though I see that you're emotional, you don't react like I do.
Right.
My natural instinct is to, as I'm getting upset, my voice gets louder.
Yep.
And even though I'm not trying to yell, that's what happens.
You're wanting to be heard, so therefore your voice gets louder.
It's terrible.
And that's where the confusion, I'm going to step away from that scenario just for a second, but that's a big confusion in a lot of disagreements. It's not that you are yelling or trying to yell at your partner or whoever you're in a disagreement with. It's your body, your mind saying you need to be heard, and therefore your voice goes up in volume.
It does. And I'm literally not trying to yell. I don't like yelling. I don't like big scenes. I tend to keep my stuff very chill, which is not that good either. But so I think that in this situation, now that we've discussed it as an option, I think it would be a good one.
Right.
One of the things that we've talked about, I've told you that when I get into my thoughts and I'm overstimulated from work and from just everything.
Take those moments and do that.
Pulling me, one of the things I've said is to pull me into you and just hold me and say, I want you to stay right here for a minute with me. Like making sure that even though I'm afraid this is going to burn and that's going to go and I'm just stressed, just grab me into a big solid hug with your body and physically give me that steadiness that you've got.
Right.
So
and you talk about that. I'm like the duck on water. Above water, everything looks calm, looks peaceful. Everything's just great. We're just floating around. Underwater, my feet are going 100 miles an hour.
You're very good at doing that. I am not. I am not. But on the flip side, as I've aged, I've realized that the things outside of our world, I don't care.
Right.
If something happens, I may feel it, but the end result is I'm not going to argue with people. It doesn't do any good.
Right.
People are very set in their opinions. Now, if we're in a discussion, I will discuss with you my feelings, my thoughts.
Absolutely.
And I will share that if you're sharing back. But if you have made up your mind, why would I argue with you?
Right.
So in our relationship, in our home, I will argue with you because I want you to understand I don't feel like I'm right. I just want you to understand my positioning.
Your side of it, your opinion of it.
And we're so good at this in so many ways. But one of the things we're not good at is we're not good at consistently keeping the DS into our everyday life.
Right.
Because you are a very sympathetic person.
I am.
For a dominant, you are looking at me going, man, she's had it really rough.
Yep.
And just allowing little slips and stuff like that, which I'm not complaining about. I'm just saying that, you know.
And that goes back again to my philosophy on a dominant submissive relationship where you only see each other for DS activities, DS scenes, versus a dominant submissive relationship where you're living with them 24/7. It's all new to me still. I'm 5 years into it now.
Yes.
So I am still learning. I'm still progressing. I'm still trying to be better every day.
That's what
I haven't been doing this for years and years and years. I've got 5 years under my belt. And prior to that 5 years, it was, if I'd done this, it would have been an argument. If I'd done this, the law would have been called. If I'd done this, it would have been a bad cycle. So I'm cautious at picking my battles. I'm cautious, at picking when to be a dom and when to be just a person
a partner
that's keeps their peace and just holds stuff down. So, yeah.
We're doing, that's part of this whole process is going through and educating ourselves.
Right. Absolutely.
And one of the big things that we've talked about and we're getting close to working on is our contract again.
Yes.
And that'll open up some doors.
Open up avenues for us as well. Okay. So one last question for you.
Wait. What?
As a submissive, I'm going to throw you a curveball.
No curveballs.
Because we do that when we interview people. We give them bullet points that we kind of go by.
We have bullet points.
But this is not a bullet point. And I want your response. I want your answer from a submissive. Safe words. We talk about safe words all the time.
Yes, sir.
Pertaining to scenes.
To scenes, yes.
Okay. Would you feel comfortable as a submissive saying yellow or red to a task that I assign you?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. Because we've developed a relationship where that is part of our relationship.
Right.
So I wouldn't think of it unless it was something that I was 100% against doing,
Right.
at which point I would say yellow for us to talk,
Right.
because I'm not real comfortable with red. Red means I'm cutting off everything. Now, I've
Right.
said red before, but it's very rare, and
It
it's
is very
usually
rare.
because
That would be in a scene that you have called red.
right.
So if you're in a dominant submissive relationship and you're still learning together, or maybe you've been together for years and maybe your dom throws a curveball task at you that you are uncomfortable doing, or emotionally you're not capable of doing it and your dom's not aware of that.
Right.
We talk about safe words all the time,
Yes.
about establishing your safe words, using them in a scene to communicate, to make it easier to know what's going on. So in everyday life, from tasks to scenes and everything in between, your safe words are there.
I wouldn't have thought of it that way. I may have used it just because if I can't do it, I don't want you to upset you.
Right.
So I would definitely, but now that you've said it, it makes sense in
Right.
life.
Yep.
There are things where I can, and I could use it non-DS stuff where
Right.
I'm overwhelmed because of whatever.
Right.
I can say to you, I'm at yellow.
Right.
And that would
trigger me of, okay, what's going on? What do we need to
right.
do to get over this?
I'm happy we did this.
Awesome. So we learned something tonight in this episode. Hope you learned something as well. See you next time.